Hey guys, it's RebeccaLynOberstadt. In today's video, I'm going to be working on a 4 looks with 1 palette, but I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently in this one. I'm currently filming this on December 30th, and I'm going to be using 2 different rows and sticking in the same color story for each look. Of course, I'm going to do 2 different looks. I'm going to be using the fade into hue, so I'm thinking either the pink and orange or the pink and yellow colors for this look. I have used the purple and blue rose in my first impressions, and I did not have such a good time with the blues. But what's different about this is I've had people tell me that, oh, they can't recreate something that I do, or they don't like watching tutorials. I don't really film tutorials. These are me playing with makeup. If you want to follow along, you can, but I'm just showing you different ways to use some of the colors in the palettes. If you don't have the palette that I'm using, pick something that's similar if you like the colors that I'm using, or use completely different colors and just put your makeup on while you watch me. It's just one of those things. I don't usually talk through the 4 looks 1 palette because of the fact that there are 4 separate eye looks that I film, and each eye look takes at least a minimum of 5 minutes to do for me. Depending on how long it takes me to get them done, or if I have issues with something like blending or something like that, usually I will speed it up ×2. I try not to cut out anything between application or blending. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to edit this one because I've had a lot of people in Samantha March's Facebook group say, well, we don't really watch videos over 10 minutes long. And we don't watch videos that are tutorials, and we don't watch this and we don't watch that, which is basically a lot of the stuff that I film. So, you know, at least I know that the people that follow Samantha March would not be interested in my content. It's just as simple as that. Blush, bronzer, and highlight are the Over collab with Samantha March. I've used all 3 of them. The lips is a combo of the NYX Butter Lipstick and Ripe Berry, and this one from Colourpop, it's just a tint in the shade Shaka in the center. Brows is a combination of Model Co. and Benefit, and then I pulled this e.l.f. mascara to use today. And my face is so dry, it is itchy, 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 itchy. And the concealer is the e.l.f. Hydrating in Ivory? Light Ivory. Trying to read it when it was upside down and on the tray, it was a little bit difficult. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into this palette. Because there's no mirror in here, I just grabbed the Studio 54 from Nomad because there's a really nice mirror in here. It's nice and clear, and it's big enough for me to at least see an eye. So I'm going to probably put music on my side here, and I might do a voiceover for this. I'm not quite sure if I will. I don't know, looking at these colors, I'm like, do I want to do orange and yellow instead, or pink and yellow? I have to go out. My friend Nadine needed to go to the bank. She doesn't have a vehicle right now, and her roommate needs vape juice, which I'm almost out of mine anyway, so it was perfect timing. So I'm gonna go swing by their house and get them and then drive them in town. So I will be out for a little bit, and I will be having my face mask on most of the time because Nadine's, been around me and stuff, but they go other places and they do other things in places that I'm not exposed to, and I really don't want to catch this lovely virus that's going on. So, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I will zoom this in via editing, so that way I don't have to worry about messing with the camera and having it show the top of my head or my nose or my chin while I'm filming, and hopefully it doesn't focus on the door too much because my camera really loves to do that. I don't know why. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I will show you the colors that I'm using as I pick up the palette to pick up new colors. I guess I'll go into the pink one. I'm wearing a blue and white shirt, so it is what it is. So we're gonna start with this one. And it looks like both of these rows have glitters in them, Lucky Charm and Prismatic. So I'm gonna try and avoid those because last time I used it, I put it basically 3/4 of the way on this lid, and it creased so bad. I have never had a shadow crease that bad. So that was fun.
All right, starting off with the shade Lovecraft, I am using actually an e.l.f. brush to swish this back and forth on my upper brow bone area. I did speed this up to 1.2 times just so I could get it under 30 minutes. It was close to 30 minutes, but I got it 8 minutes shorter doing this. I'm just working this all over, basically, all underneath my lower lash line and in my crease, and I'm trying to drag it out to a triangle instead of a dome like I usually do. I'm also building it up on the outer edge of my eyelid. This is a really pretty Pepto-Bismol pink, actually. Now into the shade Atelier. It is one of those matte with glitters in it. And I did tap that over the Lovecraft shade, which is a matte as well. Atelier is as you can see, it's a little patchy, but I do build it up and get it to work. I don't have really as many issues with this, any of the rest of the colors that I use in this palette like I did with that first iconic shade, which was really nice. And these do build up and they do pack on. I just do not like the matte shades that have sparkle in them. It kind of defeats the purpose of having a matte shade, especially with the fact of all of the fallout from it. Now into Fantasyland. This is a Super Shock kind of shade. I'm using a Bogauche brush, and I am placing that on the inner quarter of my lid, as well as the inner corner and the inner bottom part of my lid. And as you can see, I went back in with my finger because you really kind of have to use your finger on this. I even tried using a wet brush with other shades like this in the palette, and it just did not seem to want to work right. But with a finger, it works beautifully, as you can see. And then tapping back over it with the brush and then smooshing it in with my fingers. Now that is the liner that I got from the collection as well. That was Good Reef. Now this first yellow shade, holy crap, this is the shade Bonus Points. It looks kind of like a darker yellow in the pan, but holy crap, look at that pigmentation. I bought the Honey palette because I wanted a good yellow shade, and well, I was sorely disappointed with the yellows in that palette. They were not as good as this. They were kind of lacking, in my opinion. This color is holy crap good. Very pigmented, went on super easily, built up where I needed it. Now this is that Shine Bright shade, which is a gold. It looks gold in the pan, but it's more of a yellow on the eye, which is really pretty. And I'm doing kind of like a reverse kind of halo thing. Normally you would use a matte shadow here and on the inner corner, but you know, I'm not usual, and we're a little different over here in this household. So I used a shimmer shade on the inner and outer corner of my eye instead. Now going into that big Smile shade, this is a matte with glitter, and I probably should have put this down first and then put Shine Bright over it, but look at the pigment on that yellow. I went to touch it on my upper brow bone. I was like, holy shit, that's too much. Okay, back it up, blend it out, look at it. Anyways, I also used it on my inner corner. The liner I used was from it's the Punch liner, and this is the outside video that I did as well. Hopefully you guys like this. Let me know down below.
Alright, so I figured I would do a wrap up really quick of everything that I put on. Really quick, I'm going to go over the liners. The liner is in Good Grief and Punch. Punch I already had. Good Grief was in the liner set that I bought with the palette. The palette, I only used a few of each shade from the rows. So starting with the pink row, I used Lovecraft as the like crease and under eye color, and then I went into it with Atelier all over the lid, and it's like a glittery looking matte shadow. So when I put it on, it went on matte, but there was like little sparkles of silver throughout it. And then I used Fantasyland over the front part and on the inner corner. It's really, it's like a Super Shock shadow, very similar. It's a little bit more dry than a Super Shock. This eye here, I used Bonus Points basically from lash to crease, did it underneath, and then I used Shine Bright, which is a really pretty metallic gold on inner and outer corner, and then Big Smile in the center, which is a very similar shade to Atelier. It's like a matte with silver and green, silver and green glitter in it, and it was like that. The Bonus Points yellow is a yellow, it's like a shade of yellow that I've been looking for that doesn't look chalky on my skin. A lot of yellows look very bad on my skin and look like sidewalk chalk. Thankfully, this one was really nice. I was very shocked when I first put it on. I was like, oh. So the next two rows I'll be using are the green and the orange one. That'll be coming after this. So quick wrap up really quick. And then of course I use the e.l.f. Lash Out Loud mascara. So that's everything on my face. And I will see you guys in just a second for looks 3 and 4, and hopefully you guys are enjoying. Let me know what you think down below. And would you wear either of these two eye looks being the color, or would you like to see like a combination of pink and yellow? Because I think that would be pretty together. So anyways, I will see you guys in just a second. Hey guys, it's Rebecca Oberstadt. You're gonna see this like hoodie quite a bit because it's cold still in Florida, but it's gonna be 80 degrees tomorrow. So it's like when I first woke up this morning, it was 43. So burr. I don't know how you Yankees do it. Anyways, I'm Rebecca Oberstadt, and I'm doing the last two looks with the fade into hue. So I'm gonna go ahead and get jumping into the orange and the green rose, and I already filmed the other two looks. I don't know if I'm gonna split this up and do like 4 looks, 1 palette, or just 2 looks, 1 palette. So yeah, hopefully you like this. Let me know what you think down below, and I will get started with the eye looks.
All right, you ready for this orange look? We are going into the shade Treasure, and I am using a Sigma brush to do this, and it's a very pastel kind of shade. I was not expecting it to be so pastel. It looks like a regular shade in the pan, but when you put it on, it definitely is more pastel. Kind of like how that Bonus Points yellow shade was like, hello? So that one was nice and bright and bold, and this one is very pastel, but I really like the tone of it. It's a really nice, pretty, like peachy shade. This orange row is kind of more peach and salmon than it really is like bright orange, which is kind of nice. I like that. And I'm just, you know, swooshing this stuff everywhere. Top, bottom, under, side to side. Now going into Love and Warhol. This is one of those like matte with glitter shades, and you guys know how I feel about those, but this one seemed to be pretty okay. I don't know if it was a Sigma brush or what, but the other matte with shimmer shade or matte with glitter in it that I have had, I find they're kind of like patchy a little bit. But this one went on and it was like super pigmented, and I used a tiny little pencil brush to do my under eye because I wanted the peach shade to be on there first, and then this more like neon orangey shade. It's really a neon salmon shade. I wanted that to stand out as like an accent color, and I did go back over it because my eyelid kind of eats eyeshadow in the crease, so it's all good. It's all good. Sorry for the creaky chair. I broke it the other day. This is Retro Dream. This is like a super shock shadow, and I'm using a little flat synthetic brush that has been wet with water so I could get it to work. It does work so much better with your finger. Look at that. Kapow. These are really nice, like creamy feeling shades. Now, this is that So Precious shade. This is actually a glitter. You guys know I hate pressed glitters in palettes. I really do. But I kept my eye closed and I put it on and I pressed over it, and that sucker stayed. I think I wore this eye look for like 14 hours. I got all kinds of stuff done in it. So, you know, it is what it is. And that glitter kind of stayed. So, yeah. This is the shade Peach Fuzz that I am using in my waterline. Now into, what did I use? Bold type, I think. Yeah, bold type. I'll tell you at the very end, just in case I screw up and misnomer here. And I noticed this was a little bit more sheer, so I did have to build it up. This is a really pretty like turquoisey green color, but I kind of put it, I was like, ooh, this looks dark. So I went to tap into it and I put a little on at a time, and then I blended because I wanted to make sure that I didn't like overpower it. So if you look, I'm like slowly building this up because I didn't want this to like overpower the entire look, because a lot of the other shades in the green row are really, really light. So I wanted to make sure that it was light and it was diffused and there was enough color there that it stood out, but not like super pigmented. So it's not patchy on my lid. It's how I applied it. I applied it very sheer towards the middle for a very good reason. And just using that same pencil brush again, and then just deepening certain areas that I want a little bit deeper, like right along my crease and the outer edge is where I kind of focused it, so it was a little bit darker in some of those areas. Now into this neon dyed up shade. Holy crap, that thing is like, look at how green that is. This compared to the Terra Moon's neon shade that I have is 1,000 times better. It is still a little chalky and it's still a little sheer, but hey, it doesn't like floof off the eye and disappear like the Terra Moon's shade does. I absolutely detest that shadow. I'm still having flashbacks from using those shadows. And I've tried using them several times since in other looks, and all they want to do is fall out all over my face, look patchy and sheer on the eye, and I cannot get them to work, and I'm tempted to throw them in the trash. This is Haute. Again, this is a super shocky kind of shade. I put this over the middle. That's one reason why I left it very sheer, because I wanted to see what kind of base pigment this had. And again, going in with the finger, that I find that these like super shocky kind of creamy feeling shades work best like that. This is this shade Pose. It's also another very super shocky kind of shade. It's kind of topperish, very sheer, but it does have a nice light reflect, and then I popped it over the very center of Haute. Now, I went into that designer shade last. This is one of those matte shades with glitter. It's like a neon, like light, like lime, very light pastel, limey neon green. This is a very bright shade, and I went in very light-handed, and my colors on that brush I'm using, because I'm color switching in between, it looks kind of disgusting. That's a very ugly color on my brush. I use this all around the perimeter of this look, and I ended up using 2 different liners in my waterline to create a matching kind of a liner look. I go in with extra frosting all over first, and then I do catsuit. And because I didn't do a whole lot of close-ups, this is the outside video that I took that I posted to Instagram so that you guys could see what these look like in natural daylight. I do not edit any of the footage or anything.
All right, now that you have seen the eye looks, what do you think? Really quick, what's on my face is the Lovecraft Beauty bronzer, and this actually I think comes in a trio. My blush is Dazzled by Tarte. The mascara is actually 2 different ones. I have e.l.f. and then the Tarte Big Ego mascara. I have the Makeup Revolution Vice lipstick all over, but it was like patchy in the center, so I tapped the butter lipstick and ripe berry in the center. Highlighter is from Space Case. This is Seen from Space, and then I tapped over that with the Studio 54 from Nomad, and this is Hot Shot. I also used this as a mirror the whole time I was filming. Primer, I did use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer on my eyes today just to make sure that I had a good base down, or at least a base down. Now, getting into the colors, the only color from the orange row I didn't use was Art Deco. I don't think that I used that at all. I used Treasure first, and then I went into Love. It says Love plus Warhol, and then I used Retro Dream in the center, and then I used the like glittery shade, So Precious, on the inner corner, and then just kind of put what was left in my eyebrow, and that was the entire look. So I did not go into Art Deco. It's one of those matte shades with glitter. The other eye, I started off with Bold Type, which is a bluish green on the outer edge. I went into Dyed Up in the front. I have Haute in the center, and then Pose on the corner. And then I was like, this just doesn't, it's missing something. So I went into this like a really lime green designer color and put it literally all around the entire outside edge, and then just used that to kind of blend the other. I just smacking yourself, Rebecca. I used that all over the edge, and that's one of those matte shades with glitter in it. I'm really happy with how both of them turned out. Like, really do like the colors of both, and I think they actually go quite well together. Who would think an orange and a green eye look would be nice together, but I think I like them. This is more like a salmony color orange anyways. It's not like the Vice lipstick, which is like orange, and I don't really have any other orange lip colors, and I certainly don't have any that are green, so I did what I could for a matching lip. So let me know what you guys think down below. This is the last row the last 2 rows that I had to use. I used the blue and purple for the first impressions videos, and then I did the pink and the yellow when I did like a Walmart pickup order. Or was that? No, I had to go get my friend Nadine. The yellow in this palette like seriously packs a punch, so I'm appreciative of that. And then the green and the orange row, I really didn't have any issues with any of them. The only color I've really had any issues with in this entire palette, minus the like 2 or 3 that I haven't used, is this Iconic shade. And that one there was just, I will have to try it another time. I'm still having bad feelings about it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you have this palette? Were you interested in this palette? I heard some mixed thoughts from people that do the Will I Buy It series. I know Samantha March was like, ain't for me. And I understand that. She's a neutral girl. She doesn't like color. But then again, I was waiting to see what Lauren May Beauty thought about this, and I don't think she's done a video on it just yet. So Yeah, so for my color lovers out there, this is a beautiful palette. I've only had one issue with one of the shades. The glitter shades, they do last, like they stay. I don't have to use like a glitter glue to get them to stay. I put them on and then they stay. I don't really get like fallout or anything throughout the day with it, so that's also nice. But yeah, I will see you guys in another video very soon. Have a fantastic day or night wherever you are. I will do another 2 looks using like random colors in here, maybe the couple that I haven't used. The only shades, as far as I know, that I haven't used is Watermark, Art Deco. I didn't use Prismatic. And that's it. I've used everything else. Oh, and Paradise. I haven't used that one. So that's a very odd color combination. We have a blue, we have an orange, a hot pink, and a pink glitter. So maybe I can do like a rainbow thing with it. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But when I do that, I will end up doing my wrap-up thoughts on this now that I've used this more than once. I've only used it 3 times. But I think so far, I'm really liking the palette. This is so much better than any Morphe palette I've ever owned, except for the Jaclyn Hill palette. That one there, I don't know what it is about that one. That one's a special palette. I don't think I'll ever declutter that one. I don't care how old it gets. So anyways, I'm Rebecca Oberstadt. I will see you guys in another video. Have a fantastic day or night wherever you are. Bye.